everybody.
Good morning.
Welcome to the second day of the Inter-DPS ICT 2015 Learning in the Changing Digital Times. Yesterday, Professor Pant and Professor Rajaram Sharma opened a million doors for us of the things that we could do, the things that we could bring into the classrooms. 3D printing. So he says you can build a school like DPS with 3D printing in seconds. He spoke about infographics and how infographics can change the way we look at teaching without text. How visual learning can impact learning not only for younger children but for adults. They spoke about artificial intelligence and will it replace human intelligence? And if human intelligence has to keep pace to do that, and if it has to, then what kind of teaching should happen in our classrooms? What kind of learning should children benefit from, that they are still 10 steps ahead of machines? They also spoke about things becoming very repetitive. Rajaram Sharma was very skeptical about a few things, saying that sab kar rahe hain to hum bhi kar rahe hain. Now that is something that we will have to keep in mind and say, what are my interests? What are our interests of a school in some part of India? Does it, what I do, what I teach, does it blend with the local needs? And does it have an expansion into global requirement? Does supply meet demand? Very important questions. It left a lot of us thinking yesterday. And then another thing that Rajaram Sharma sir said, which I kept thinking last night, and I was reading a lot more about it. He said, there is no proof in the world that says technology has bettered student performance. So one, then are we on the right track? Or are we still assessing children wrong? Which is what Dr. Pant said. We are still testing them to the exam. The exam that is predetermined by the teacher, which is textbookish in nature. So if technology is going to be there and it's a way of learning, then what changes is the styles of assessment. So we have a couple of sessions today from people who've been into assessment for a very long time, and we will be hearing them speak and kind of bridge the gaps that are there in our minds about questions that arise with technology. Swana and I will take you through a quick brief of the website. How many of you here have gone through the Google site that we created for the Inter-DPS ICT in detail? In detail? Okay. How many of you managed to see it once a day? To see the updates? That's great. How many of you have just, skimmed through it and said, okay, there's something happening there? Great. The team on our side has been on it every day, and we've done something which we're going to share with you now. This is the first phase of the website, the phase with an F, not P. So this is how the site looks like. We gave in a brief. On your left hand, you have the navigation, which has all the processes. It has home, it has innovation and creativity and technology, where we had all the topics that some of the speakers yesterday in their session spoke about. Flipped classroom, blended learning, inclusive practices, gamification, cyber safety, computational thinking, power of data analysis, then Web 2.0 tools. I think a lot of teachers use this. It's one of the greatest tools available, and it gets updated every now and then. Please keep having a look at it, and please bring that into your classrooms. Don't do PowerPoint presentations all the time. There is Animoto, there is Prezi, there is Sway, and there are a million things. And they change every day. And the way you do it makes your class so much more interesting. Coursera courses, I must share with you, we share our practices as well. Most teachers in DPS North in the last 4 months have done more than 5 Coursera courses. And they've all done the certification ones. So they're certified by the university. We have the phase 1, the details are there, the feedback form. I think some of you did the feedback form for phase 1 yesterday. Most of them have done it. And then the phase 2, here it shows, the website shows that phase 1, all the schools have completed. Can we see the next one, please? Phase 2. Okay, phase 2, and the phase 2 is all of you, most of you have given in your number of courses attended, MOOCs done, TEDs watched, but still from a lot of schools we do not have input. So when you get back at the earliest, if you could do us that of telling us how many TED talks have been attended, how many MOOCs each teacher has done, because this will help us do the statistics which we are going to provide to DPS Society. If this information can come in even by tomorrow, that will be a great use, because then we will put it in a statistic and give it to Mrs. Kher before she goes back to Delhi to present to the DPS Society up there. Great. We are on feedback phase 1. That's done. Can I come back to phase 2 if there's any analysis there? Okay, the submission status is there. Yeah. So that's the submission status. Can we run it through, please? Mrs. Kher, I'd like you to have a look at that as well. So some of them are still coming in. Can we go up? I will just say DPS Amritsar, 6 out of 82. That means 82 of them have taken the MOOC, but 6 have completed. But that itself is great that they've started, and because it's a self-paced learning program, people are taking their time. But if schools could set a deadline and say that we could finish this in the next 2 months or 2.5 months, we will ensure that what started doesn't get stalled. We will move down. DPS Gurdaspur, almost 50% of their teachers have taken it. DPS Howrah, 50%, almost reaching completion. DPS Mysore Road, good numbers. Nacharam, Nagpur, DPS Nagpur, good, almost 60 out of 105 they've done. And please also mention the MOOCs that have done, and what you could do is on your Facebook site, people who've completed and got certifications, please put their pictures. So that's sharing as well. We'll know who has done what MOOC. Phase 3 is where we are in, and phase 4 is what Mrs. Kher is going to discuss tomorrow. A resolution is going to be drafted, and then it's going to be shared with all of you, saying where do we go from here. And I think that is the most important part. So your inputs, your feedback is very, very important. Coming back to phase 3, we've got all of this. Yesterday we requested for the departure details, right? I hope most of you have given in so that we can get that to be comfortable. We'll come to school heads article submission, please. On phase 3, school heads submission. Right. So again, we have a lot of submissions. We would do either the presentation of best practices, or we will take a paper up for reading. Either ways, whichever is comfortable to the schools. If schools are not really engaging in ICT in a big way, it doesn't matter. But the principal and the ICT coordinator have a vision, and that is the vision that we'd like to hear from you. And those who have best practices can share. This morning when I was talking to people, they said a lot of it is repetitive. But even if it's repetitive, it's your own work. And I think that brings in a matter of pride, and I guess all of us need to listen to whatever anyone is presenting, because that school is coming here on stage with pride saying, my school is doing this. And I think so we all need to have a patient hearing for them. We'd also like to take you through some of the social media tools that we have. Can we go to Facebook, please? This is what you see on the IPOMO links as well. Please come down. The pictures of yesterday will be coming up today, Swana? Yes. If any of you are taking pictures on your phones, please do give it to us. We will upload it ASAP. This kind of tells you the kind of energy that every school has invested in. Can you see with every school the computer labs are full? They're bursting with teachers doing it, teachers sitting on tables, teachers sitting on the floor, teachers standing and doing it, but everybody with a device. And this has been so gratifying for us. Every day schools would put up pictures of these, of people actively engaged. And 6,500 people on a common cause. On a common cause of doing something. We were delighted when we shared the numbers with Mrs. Kher. We couldn't believe ourselves, saying this is what happening. Because schools could have just taken a picture of somebody and sent it. But this was, and you could see on their digital screens that they were working on the subjects that they were interested in. So while someone was doing Microsoft, someone was doing Google Apps, someone was doing, GeoGebra, people were doing different things pertaining to their needs. There's some work, they're working in collaboration and then presenting. Again, today we are on the web link, so schools can see this in their labs. We're just running through it so that you can all spot your school somewhere and feel good about it. Okay. All right. The Twitter links were there. We didn't have active participation on Twitter. We'd like you to engage in Twitter from today, right? This group, if this group can start tweeting on what's happening, it'll be wonderful. And Swana tells me, Swana is standing with a bag of goodies, and she says anyone who tweets the most will get a prize, right? So let's start and let's pick this up. What didn't happen? Facebook was happening. Can we start tweeting? Because the more we do, then we find its relevance and we can take it back into the classroom. So if we'd like you, yeah, it's with the hashtag. There it is. Yeah, click on that if you. Yeah, that's the link. All of us are with mobile phones. There's Wi-Fi access here, so please start tweeting, right? Password. You need to have a Twitter account. This one? Okay, Wi-Fi password, we'll give it. Okay. All right. Some of the tweets coming in from Karnal, Gandhinagar, Hapur. So, can we go back to the Pinterest site? We didn't have inputs coming on the Pinterest site at all. So there's so much that we could do on this. So in fact, at a time, Swana said, ma'am, can you stop pinning because you're the only one pinning. And I was doing it because I decided to take it as a project with my students of 12. So we do biology. So we created this thing called ICT 2015. We also created something on education. We created something on biology, on genetics. So it's inter DPS, yeah. We put up a lot of stuff that was very interesting, saying 25 cheat codes for Google search for teachers. And it was amazing that why don't we use words like these? We're all searching, and some of us are really good at searching because it comes naturally. But then there are methods, there are keys, there are cheat codes. How can you show an infographic on the structure of the DNA? Any other biology teacher other than me here? DNA Day was celebrated and Pinterest was full of celebrations on DNA and unknown facts that we've never heard. It totally transformed the classroom that day because we were looking at things that children said, wow. And my teacher is cool. She's Pinteresting and we are, pinning with her. And that kind of cascades. All right, we could move to something else till they're working. Right. This was the website, discussion and articles of principles. Could you show that to us? Yeah, they have. Today the e-book is going up, ma'am. The one that was released yesterday. The presentations of all the people who presented yesterday will also come online, and the speaker's presentation. So this will keep continuing to add resource. Sure. Absolutely. Certainly. Certainly. Yeah. So this page has all the good practices that have come from different schools. Some of them might be presented here, some of them are as they went through the process or something that they thought was essential for them. So vocational teacher preparation, computational thinking, and some just personal notes as well. And if you can see that, people have seen into each other's things and liked or commented on that. This is something that I wrote about the universal design in learning and how technology is something that removes barriers. Like I spoke about it yesterday as well. So you could read it at your own pace whenever you wish to. But we'd like that even after you go back, please keep writing, ask, and this need not be just us. Anybody in our schools, any teacher, any office person who thinks he or she is using technology very well and can help someone else. You will be meeting tomorrow my secretary who uses our internal school managing platform called Entra. And she does everything on that. And she's so amazing with it that we always have, everybody goes to her. So anybody could teach and anybody could use technology to make life easier. So get anyone that you think can write for this to keep writing. Okay, this is some comment on my article. So someone, one of the people here said that I had a similar experience as well, and it's always important for us as professionals to be parts of an organization. Many a times when we fill our resumes, it says, are you a part of some professional group? And the least we say is DPS Society, Sahodya. We really don't belong. So if you could create this group of professionals who are sharing practices, who are on each other's discussion forums, it adds value to the kind of work that you're doing. So being a part of an educational group does substantiate your professional development in a big way. So please do engage in that. Ma'am, that's with the website. Yeah, we just leaving them with the little, yes. Huh. Okay. How to go to Google and start. Sure. Sure. Yeah, no, just go to Google. Just go to Google. Start from there. Google sites. Go to Google. We'll start right from scratch. If you don't remember anything, no, not the link, we'll say how do you go to Google sites and then start. Okay?
So everyone can make a note of this web address. She's trying to increase the size. You just need to go to any of the browsers and just put in this web address, and that will take you to the website. It's sites.google.com/site. The first one is sites with an S, and the second one is a site without the S. DPS ICT Meet 2015. There's another one which says ICT Meet 2015. That's an earlier version, which is not the one that we're following. So it has to end in a DPS ICT Meet 2015.
Something easier than this is you could just go to Google Sites. Type Google Sites on Google and then just remember DPS ICT Meet 2015. That we've been talking about the name every now and then. So that's easier if you don't remember the web link. So go to Google, type Google Sites and then put this name, you should be there. And once you've got it, please start it so that it's there in a bookmark. Once you have it and you see it, start.
We'll have the visual contest.
Okay, before we start with this.
This will do the rounds.
Before we start with the session on iPomo, all of you have got the app. We got you connected on that even before you came into the school. So this is kind of saying how people don't really have to meet but can stay connected. And a little app that brought the inter-DPS ICT into your smartphones, right? And then today we are doing a webcast of it from your homes, from your schools, from anybody in the family. Professor Khandelwal saw Professor Pan's session, all of it on iPomo yesterday, even though he was not here. So that is the impact a little app can make, and you've done your face recognition on iPomo. But before we leave you with them, we wanted to have a quick, there's a lot of work, there's a lot of ICT that has happened in everything that we've designed, from the lamp lighting that you saw that day, to the Rangoli yesterday, the Rangoli today, and everything that's happening on the walls. We'd like you to look at everything very carefully because every now and then there's going to be a quiz asking you, what are you seeing, right? And there's some prizes to be won. So people, don't shout out your answers. I don't have a tablet for you to punch in the answers. You just have to raise your hand and, or probably whoever comes here first, right? To give the answer, we'll do a little running around like the kids do. Your task for now is you have to identify the 6 icons here and tell us what they are. 6 icons there, and whoever knows them.
If anyone can identify all 6, you can raise your hand. We can send the mics down also. All 6. Five at least? 6. Ma'am says 6. Take it or leave it.
It's been done by my student. He or she is going to be very disappointed if nobody gets a 6 on 6.
Again, while you are guessing, the entire work of the ICT workshop has been done only using free softwares. The only paid software probably that we have used, which I thought we shouldn't have, was for the ebook we used the PowerPoint and we used the Photoshop for the e-invite. Barring that, every piece of work has been done only using free softwares. And these are also all free softwares, but you have to guess the names. 5, anyone? Anyone can guess 5 of these icons there? Give the mic to sir, please, someone. Sir, 1 minute, the mic is there.
The first one is a Pinterest, then there's a cat is a Scratch, then the Open Office, then there's a Twitter, and Keynote, and Khan Academy.
All right.
And
great.
I don't know the Mountain Wala.
Anyone knows that Mountain Wala, the little the ice cream thing? No, the like a soft cone from McDonald's. All right. So we give it to you, sir. Though I don't have it right now, but I'll make sure the goodie reaches you. Okay. The last one is Inkscape. It's something that helps you to draw just like your Photoshop, and it has all the tools. This entire thing has been done using Inkscape. Even the icons have been made using Inkscape, and
Sharda's here.
some of you notice on those standees there's something like a linear network. When you go down, all that, everything has been. Oh, that no, I just think it was done using Inkscape. All right, thank you. A few announcements, ma'am.
Yes, please.
A few announcements. I think only 25 schools have entered their departure details till now. We need the details because we need to plan your drop to the airport or to the railway station. That's one thing. Second, during tea and during lunch times, it's requested that everybody goes to the stalls and check out and pick up the brochures and take it home, because once you go home and you want to connect to those brands, to those companies for your school, at least you have the numbers. So that's important. And all the links of the seminar, the pictures, the presentations, everything will go up on this website. I think starting Monday we'll start putting everything there. So if you need access to Sir's presentation, Pansar's, or whatever is available with me, I will put it up there. Even the pictures, probably I'll put it up there, or I'll share a folder on Google Drive. So I will not be sending CDs to school. It'll all be there. You can download from the folder. In anyone, I think there's some schools who wanted the IPOMO link for a live webcast to their school. If you want that, you need to get in touch with Mr. Prashant, who's sitting there. All right. And we've got some charging docks, which I wanted to tell you yesterday, but there was no time. In case you have a problem with your phones, your laptops running out of battery, there are 3 charging docks. That's there. And besides that, as you've seen the schedule, we've got loads and loads of speakers coming in, starting with IPOMO to Oracle, EI, Adobe, Google, we got PK from IIIT Delhi. So I hope you all have a good day today. Thank you.
There was also a request from most participants that they want to see this beautiful school of arts. We would like to show you around. The space we have is about 45 minutes at lunch. So if you could finish your lunch in about 25 minutes, then we'll take you on a nice walk.
Good morning everyone. I am Uzma Fatima from Delhi Public School, Bangalore North. May I have the honor of inviting Mr. Hari Prakash Shanbhog, Founder and Managing Director, IPOMO Communication Private Limited. Mr. Shanbhog has more than 19 years of global experience in embedded technologies. Mr. Shanbhog was the Group Head at Product and Engineering Solution Division, Wipro Technologies. During these years, he was instrumental in growing the Industrial Automation Group from 25 members to 400 plus team in a span of 5 years. He was awarded the prestigious Wipro President's Award in 2006 and his contribution in incubating and growing a new accounts. Mr. Shanbhog has done his engineering from NII Mysore University and has done his executive programs from IIM Bangalore and Stanford University. May I have you on the stage, sir?
Connector? Oh, yeah, we change it. Yeah, sure. Connected. Good morning, everybody. So today we're going to discuss about IPOMO rooms. Actually, in fact, yesterday, since I couldn't attend the meeting, I was just reviewing this particular thing. In fact, on my mobile, as ma'am was mentioning about the live streaming was happening on IPOMO app. So it's really good to see that the kind of interest that's happening on the technology side. In fact, I remember in 2008 when I quit corporate world and got into the mobile, into the education space. In 2008 and 9, it was really a tough time for us to really, when I first went to the college and gave them a presentation about mobile and mobile learning. In fact, one of the principals said, how dare you come to my campus and talk about mobile, which we have banned in our campuses. Okay, so that's the way we have come a long way from 2009 to 2015 right now in terms of how we can adopt this particular technology, how we can take this up. So today I'm going to talk about the rooms concept, which we have been, most of you have already installed the app on your mobile phones, how it can be used, and whatever just now ma'am was mentioning about the sites, Google sites, and then the collaborative platform. So the rooms is basically a collaborative platform. So it's a platform where you can share, discuss, talk, various things that you can do, everything in your confined room. So I'm just going to talk about that. So let me just leave this space, couple of slides before that. Okay, so in today's connected world, it's very difficult for us to be in silos. You know, you have to collaborate, you have to compete. So that's the whole objective of this particular concept. Now we address three things in terms of how the room is going to help it. One is the communication, because any collaboration, the communication plays a very key role, whether it is between among your students, among your teachers, among the community. So the communication becomes a very crucial part. Second one is the collaboration, and third one is the competition. We call it a 3C model or a COCO model, which is collaborate, compete, collaborate and compete, because those are the two things that are required for that. So how do we do that? It's a technology, a collaborative platform. Basically, a room is nothing but an app. So when I say you build an app, a room on your mobile, you are actually building an app on your mobile phone. So let me straight away get into that part. 3 simple steps to build a room. As ma'am was mentioning about building, a page, web page. It's like you build a Facebook page or a Twitter account or a WhatsApp account or a group account. So you build a room on IPOMO platform. Very simple. It's on a device, or once you install the app, you can do that, or on the website, you can just go and then build it. I'll just show you a demo. Today, my presentation will be 5 minutes only on the slides, and another 10-15 minutes will be on how to really go about using this particular platform. First, you build a room. Once you build a room, what do? You have to add a lot of services in it. Services could be a blog, an article, a poll, a quiz, a live relay that is happening as of now. So you can decide what exactly you want to offer the services in your room. So you offer the services. Second one, a difference between a room and an app. You can either build an app or a room. An app is a public by default. A room is your closed group actually. So then you invite your students. So in terms of getting into their particular room, and then you start engaging with them. The third important thing that we start talking about here is the security and the thing. In fact, last week when I was having a con call with Professor Khandelwal, when I was explaining about this whole concept, he was telling me all things are good, but you guys, everything, how about the security part? How are you guys placing the data? Because whatever we put on our social media, the whole data is stored in the US servers and other things. How secure are you? See, being an Indian startup company, and we have been working with other providers who are there, part of our community. For example, the live streaming that is happening today, which many of them have you seen, is from a company called River Silica, which is a completely Indian company who are providing that particular technology. So the whole data is also hosted here. So all the data that you have is a very secured environment which is within India, and then you can access that particular part. So security is the key thing. When you create a room and then invite your students, whatever you post, everything is within our area, and then you can access it and use it for your particular thing. So create the part, and then we can either make it a public, which is nothing but an app, or if you want to retain it as a private, it is a room. So how is this? Very simple. You create a room. As a professor, as a teacher, or as any lecturer, can start from there to a department, to a school, or to a university. So it just scales up right from a micro level to a macro level. So I just give you, here it's more about a particular individual. So create a room as a professor KRS, I just named it. Then you have, the professor may, take classes for 3 sections, 3 different years. So create 3 rooms for yourself. Then you invite your students to your room. Once it is done, then you start sending notes, circulars, notifications, events, exams, whatever you want. It's up to you how you want to do it. Just keep sending that particular data, and it just goes to the students as a notification. Because the power of mobile technology is that when you post, it's very dynamic. When you post something, it goes to all your students, and then they get a notification that something has happened, something has been posted. Now they will access that particular data. Second one, the students can now start giving you a feedback. So they take when you take an attendance, or when you take a quiz, the results come back to you, and you get a beautiful analytics back as part of your room owner. Okay, so that's the simple way how it works. let me just get into the straight thing in terms of how do you create that particular room. Okay, so when you get into the room, it's a simple website similar to your facebook.com or google.com, sites.google.com. It's just called ipomo.in or ipomorooms.com. So get into that particular thing, and then you have a login. So you can just log in with your just got disconnected. Wi-Fi is not working. Okay, so I'll just come to this part. Okay. So just get into the room. You have 3 fields that you need to fill. What's this room? You can just simply give a tag, very similar to the tag that you give it on your when you create a account for Facebook or for any of the things. So I'll just say DPS 8th standard A section. So what about the room name for DPS 8th students? You just give a description and just say create. So your room is done. So by default the room is private, so that's why it's called a room. You want to make it public, you can make it public. So then you can add a banner, just click on it, you just add a banner. Then you want to add up some new updates and notifications that you want to give, just click on the ticker, you can just start updating, which goes out as a notification to all your students. So all you need to do is, this is the one page for you to track, monitor, track and engage with your student community. Now next one, you want to add services, so just click here. There are various services that comes in, post, feedback, event, poll, help, task. So depending on what you want to do it, you can just click on it, then you just add that particular part. So let me just say it's about notes. So that's it. Your notes is ready. Now what do you want to do? Just start posting it. So I'm just typing just for the timing. So you can upload a PDF. If you have a PDF, you just click on this, or an MP3 or an MP4 file, click on it, it just uploads. Or you have a URL link which you want to give it from various things, just keep the URL link. You can create your own web page. Just click on this, it comes up, all the tools that are available for you. So just use this and make your own website. So just say save, just for the time constraint I'm just thing. So once it is done, if you are confirmed, if you are sure that it is fine, so just say publish. Click on the publish. Now a notification will go out all the students who are there part of your room. Now how do you invite your students and members? Just click on this. So you can just upload a Excel, or you can just send out a notification to all your students, and then they will be able to join. Once they get in, you'll get a request as a part of the invites. So you get all the students who have requested for to join your room, just approve it, then they are all part of your community. So that's one of the part. Similarly, as I said, you can add a logo if you are planning. Then students can start liking another thing. So let me just show you one of the room that has been just created for the DPS ICT, which is exactly, it just took us 20 minutes to create this whole room. So whatever was there on your sites.google.com and things like that, now everything is available here. So you can just click on it, and the best part here is when you update something here, it sends out a notification. By now, most of you might have receiving notifications as we update and post thing on the app. So you'll receive notifications on that. In fact, yesterday event, though it is not available on the Facebook, everything is up. Yesterday users have started posting on it. So it's you can just, as and when you are in the event, just click on it, post it, and it will be available on the thing. The important part here is the owner has the responsibility to authorize what will be published and what will not be published. Though the users can post it, the owner has the responsibility, and he has to do that moderator. He's a moderator, because with the education industry for last 4 or 5 years, when you are understanding the requirement, they said the big concern for us is the security part, and then we don't want to receive too much of data coming from the students. It should be a one-way for us, where I post something and we want our students to consume it, and only on need basis we want them to get back to us. Otherwise, it becomes painful for us to really start engaging with everybody. So what we have done is, here it's a one-way. Most of the services that you offer, you post it, it goes to all the students, they will consume it, whether it could be a post or a quiz or a poll, then you will be able to see all the results and reports live on that part. So these are, in fact, this is the live thing. I'm sure. The poll. So when you conduct a poll, and 43 people have already taken the poll, so you get what is the results here. So everything, it's available either on your phone or on the web, and it's only one place that you can just keep modifying it. So you can add all the phase 1 activities, phase 2 activities, phase 3 activities, which the travel desk has been posted yesterday. So, or a phase 4 activity, and the quiz is available there. Quiz is only available on the, you can only take the quiz on from your handheld device, not from the web. So this is one of the room, and I'll tell you the real college, some of the colleges who are using it. So this is one of the prestigious institutions in Bangalore, Sheshadripuram Degree College. They are using it. In fact, look at the numbers. 3,056 students are there. Today, just now 8:30, one student has joined this particular room. This is a public room, actually. So they just go to their app, download the app, then just join that particular room. So similar to your Twitter account or a Facebook account, there is a unique ID called SDC. So on your app, on our platform, just type in SDC, you are into that SDC room. If it is public. If it is private, you can request for it. Then if the owner sees that, if approves, then only you can get into the part. Okay? So, for example, these are the events that they are happening there. English literary event, in fact, that's posted yesterday. See some of the comments. If you see the comment section, internal examination, the students get back. Oh, sorry, I had to log in to see the comments there. So you can use this particular platform the way you want thing, and then create it according to that particular need. So create a room, make it public or make it private. So only one web address, that's ipomo.in or ipomorooms.com. Or once you get in there, then you start creating and managing the rooms the way you want. You get a detailed analytics as part of that. It's not just the web app. Web app is only for one way for the users to use it. As a room owner or app owner, you have all the details there that you can access and prepare. So just 3 simple steps. Install iPomo on your Android phone. We are just releasing the iPhone version by September 1st week. Create a room, then you start posting on it. So that's it. Then you create room for various. Just now we created for DPS ICT Meet. So any event which is happening in your campus, you can start creating that and then start posting it. So that's the part. And the best part, is absolutely free. In fact, you can just go ahead and then use it the way you want, the whole part, and make it as useful as possible for your internal communication. So these are the things that we are planning it in terms of thing. Now, how does it appear? I just want to show you another 2 minutes on my mobile. So all these things we have done it. Now, how does it really? I'll just take. So for some reason it's not getting connected. On the mobile, I can project this whole thing, how it appears. So whatever I just showed you, it also appears on the devices in the same way that you can see that particular part. So since most of you have already installed the app on that, you will be able to see that particular thing. Just get into the DPS ICT Meet 2015 room. It's a private room right now. So you can just request for a invite. You will be able to join the particular thing. And then you can start posting various articles, other things, and also a quiz and feedback that we have planned on that particular part. So it's in case if you have any other questions, I'm ready to take that. So this is all we have in terms of the rooms that we have, and we really thank DPS North for giving us this whole thing and DPS Society for giving us an opportunity to showcase our technology. Being an Indian startup company, we just want this kind of platform to really showcase our technology. Thank you very much, and if you have any questions, we'll be glad to take on that one. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. It was an interesting session. We have known a lot about IPOMO app, which we have been using from yesterday. Now may I have the honor of inviting Mr. Shubham Jairath, Head Education Industry Solution Oracle. Having an experience over 15 years, he has passionately served education sector, a trusted advisor to hundreds of institutes solving business problems with technology solutions. He has worked with Illusion Higher Education, formerly known as SunGuard Higher Education, where he worked as Director of Sales and Customer Relationships. He was a part of President's Club, acquiring large education customers in India. In past, he has also worked as a Chief Education Evangelist with Adobe, Global Head for Education Solution with Satyam, now known as Tech Mahindra, and Learning Technology Consultant with NIT. Mr. Jairath has done his BTech in Computer System from Thomson Rivers University, Canada, and MBA in E-Commerce from IMS Indore. Sir, please come up on the stage.
Thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure coming to DPS before I think this thing comes up. I'm supported by my team here. You will be getting a lot of information from oracle.com, and in case you need to connect with us, we've got two of our gentlemen sitting here. You can connect with these guys. They'll be able to help you out more. So I've been given a very difficult subject, global trends in education. 21st century, I myself keep learning about students, and you guys deal with them more often than what we guys experience. I have my two kids also in DPS, so I know what kind of challenges you might be facing. Coming back to Oracle, giving you a quick snapshot, we are a Fortune ranked 38 number company, serving more than 4 lakh customers globally. We have a huge ecosystem of 25,000 partners who help you with technology solutions. With more than 1,20,000 employees, we have strengthened our presence in India for almost 30 years now. And we support almost 2.2 million students. And this is something very interesting, which I'll be covering sometime later in my session. I have also a customer testimonial to share on what we do in education, which is very similar to what you did on MOOC. So, coming back to Oracle, we are #1 company for software, enterprise software across sectors. These are some of the sectors on the screen, but in education, we work with almost top 20 universities globally. Almost 87% research universities are our customers. You take all top 10 institutes region-wise, Europe, Asia Pacific, Middle East, all are Oracle customers. So we've got a very strong portfolio of technology solutions which are now coming on your site. Oracle Database, we are again #1 player in that segment. And analytics, we keep talking about learner analytics, we'll be talking more about it. So these are some of the leading IT solutions that Oracle provides, and with various analyst reports, you will realize that we are number one in this segment. Almost 97% of all Fortune 500 companies are our customers, and they use our technology in various aspects, which we'll showcase some of them today. Anybody familiar with this picture? Anybody familiar with this picture? Excellent. I don't have any giveaways, but hats off to you guys. I had a privilege working with Dr. Sugata Mitra, and that brings me to the point. 21st learner, 21st century learner. What are these kids up to? Dr. Sugata Mitra just kept a computer in a village. Gradually, people started playing solitaire. There was a smart student who even changed the password so that only he can play. So students learn on their own, and I learned the hard way.
Pearson's words.
I learned it the hard way when my 14 years daughter cracked
Largest
my
leading
iPad
education
password,
company.
which
We are
was 4
into
digits.
schools and we're
And she
into
never
higher
knew the
education,
numbers.
and we do a lot of publishing. We do.
Just a month back, I observed my kid writing spellings in an iPad. Gaming. He doesn't know alphabets. He doesn't recognize alphabets, but he was able to create sentences in a game-based learning. So kids are learning on their own. If I today teach my child on how to play Subway Surf or one of the games, 5 minutes later they turn up to me and say, "You didn't explain this feature. By the way, if you press like this is what it does." So kids are learning, and we probably have to know how to engage the kids better. In most of the sessions, you've been covering about how to use Google technology, Microsoft technology, Adobe. We have a very unique portfolio, and that is what I'll cover. Interesting part is, handheld devices are in hands of every parent today, even kids, but you don't expect kids to make some of the choices they'll probably use for their learning, for their gaming, and that's where most of the content is going. So I'm glad you guys are experiencing MOOC, and this is one of the most effective delivery platforms today. Unfortunately, it's a big wave in India where these gadgets are being circulated and kids come up with these gadgets. Common problems, if I term for schools, admissions. I was not reached out by DPS that you have 2 kids, please get them in DPS. I proactively read DPS. So student recruitment takes a very important point. Admissions, I still had to write manual applications. I still pay checks. I don't have online payment facility in DPS. So these are some of the challenges which, if you strengthen, you will be able to probably deliver education better. Coming back to, this is my favorite slide, which I've been using for the last 4 years. What is happening in 60 seconds? So in 60 seconds, if you see, there is a lot of emails being sent. And nowadays, we don't need to go to laptop or a desktop computer. We are doing most of the email communication using our mobile phones. So responding, getting communication, sending communication is become easier and easier day by day. The whole purpose of me sharing this slide, you guys are on Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, what all technologies. We are creating data every second, and bulk of data. And what schools are doing, how do you analyze those data? I had a privilege working with Professor John Campbell of Purdue University, who probably created a model for predictability. Can I predict performance of the student? Can I know based on his activities how the student is going to perform? I heard in the morning session, we spoke about the kinds of assessments and evaluation that you are experimenting in the school. But think of analytics. You are collecting data from social sites, how parents are behaving, how students are behaving. Can you create a model, devise a method on how can we increase the success of the student? At the end of the day, it's a competitive market, and we have our unique challenges in India, where education has not reached to around 32 to 33% in rural areas, and there are students who are deprived of education in India still, which is not as par with the other developed nations. The second challenge is about attrition. Most of us are not in stable jobs. We keep changing jobs, we keep changing cities, our students keep moving from one school to another. Do we have mechanisms? Do we have flexibilities? Teachers, for example, I have seen a lot of my colleagues whose wives are teaching in a school. They change city from Delhi to Bangalore. Can the teacher, the wife, also take up another assignment there? Can we build that mechanism at a corporate level? This is what we can probably strengthen in our administrative solutions. So I'll cover this part. I gave the idea. Technology is growing, number of gadgets are increasing, number of data is getting collected, and we need a mechanism in which we can manage our IT infrastructure more effectively. I remember the days when I used to be doing my engineering. We used to install a Unix system. It used to take whole one day, and after 6 months, if I had to upgrade, I used to again spend a lot of time. If I was building any applications, maintaining that application used to be a nightmare. That's where now cloud computing is on. With cloud computing, it happens seamlessly. For example, if you're using an iPad or an iPhone, or maybe a Facebook application on your mobile phone, it gets automatically updated, and it is getting updated real time. So these are the kind of solutions which are making impact. And Oracle today is positioned as a #1 cloud solution provider in the enterprise software space. May that be a financial application, may that be a human resource, may that be online services. So for example, principals needs to procure something. That decision making can happen in quick time. I'll have case studies where you can realize that in a large school like DPS, there may be some 15,000 purchase transactions which are pending. Can we reduce that cycle? So for example, I did a project with Symbiosis Group of Institutes, and I realized that a teacher gets a laptop after 7 months of joining. By that time, 1 semester is gone. Can we expedite that? Can we build a predictable environment? Another interesting observation that I had was, in US, it's become performance-based funding model. So you need to create an institutional performance model for yourself. How individual schools are performing. What would be the key metrics where you can measure the performance of a school? It can be broken down into how a teacher will be evaluated. What development needs to be provided to an individual teacher? How can we make sure that the teachers stay for longer durations, enjoy and grow their career in academics? So these are kind of solutions that we deal with. I'll quickly browse through the 5 most important things that we provide currently to the education sector. One is in terms of student experience, with a lot of online services that you can expose to the parents, your fee collection, your student performance, your transcripts, any inquiries, any communication on mobile devices, right? Student success. Can we combine all your effort, all your learning environment into great analytics where you can actually predict performance of the students, you can make corrective actions, and operationalize the entire stuff in such a way that with minimum cost, you are able to manage your entire education. Research is not much relevant here, but personalized learning. There are students who are weak. I probably did a project with Institute of Technical Education in Singapore, where they had a system known as e-tutor. So I understand most of the secondary school onwards, students are taking tuitions. So what in Singapore they did was they created something known as an e-tutor, where there were teachers from the school, people from the community, everybody coming together. They are doing sessions with the students dedicatedly. They are providing a lot of content to the students. They are giving a very personalized learning path to each student. That, okay, this student needs to work a little harder on certain areas. Can I personalize that learning? And it is really challenging to do that maybe in a classroom environment where you might be dealing with 30, 40 odd students. So how can technology help in making sure each student requirement is met? So this is essentially the theme. How do we keep them informed? How do we keep them engaged? How can we transform? And how can we collaborate? Collaboration is very essential when it comes to a large group like DPS. With almost close to 200 schools now, what kind of collaboration you might have? in terms of sharing infrastructure, in terms of sharing teachers, in terms of giving flexibility to students, in terms of centralizing the procurement. Can you buy all laptops together at one location and crack a better deal? So, and can you predict how many teachers you will require in 2017? So this is the kind of model technology can help, and this is where Oracle has a very strong portfolio. So what I have done is, I'm not boring you with slides. I have a solution consultant also available with me who will walk you to two very important aspects. Typically we take one full day to showcase Oracle solutions because we carry a large portfolio. But we are covering on two very important aspects. One is mobile applications. How can we do entire thing in mobile applications? So whether it is procurement, so if I am a teacher or I am a principal and I join, I don't do any paperwork. I go to a digital catalog, pick things what I want. There are vendor contracts in place automatically, and a procurement cycle that might take days and months will be shortened significantly. So those are the kind of projects we do. And these are the kind of questions you will probably understand by the presentation on how do we educate more and more people more effectively? How do we serve the students of current generation? I still remember when I did my schooling, and I did my schooling from Delhi College Indore, which is one of the leading schools, and I still remember a teacher used to come, used to take the entire 30-minute class in drawing a diagram, and we were just copying it. In the next class, he used to come and explain that diagram. So things have changed. How do we manage that? How do we make sure that that learning is more engaging, it's more personalized, and how do we make sure that we know performance of each and every student, and from an administrative perspective, are we managing it at a right cost? Do I know, not as school wise, as a class level, how am I performing? Am I delivering things on time? What kind of investments am I doing at a class level, at a grade level? So those are the kind of things. Can I do a trend analysis? Can I predict? So these are things which in this competitive world are essential, and some of our customers are doing it already. So I'll just quickly say this is all about Oracle, that we are most comprehensive, we provide flexible solutions, we are open, secure, and this is the huge solution stack of Oracle. This is important. So right from your application to middleware, databases, operating system, so we are basically one-stop shop for all your enterprise software needs. So, and right from student recruitment, how can you engage a student when he's not even touched upon? You can run campaigns, you can do reactive recruitment, you can do proactive recruitment, you can execute a lot of recruitment strategies that I need students from this demographics. Each state, each city has a protocol. How do I manage protocol? Nowadays we get a protocol, is the student within 5 kilometer radius and all. I can create a Word file and an Excel file, tabulate all my rules, and the system will take care of it. That is the kind of flexibility that Oracle brings on table. Student analytics is important. Student experience. Another important thing was personalized learning is the online learning market space. We have come up with an initiative known as Oracle Learning Exchange. You can Google it. Oracle is a kind of company where you will find demos of each of these solutions, literature about each of these solutions, everything you will find it on oracle.com. So every information is available there. Oracle Learning Exchange is very essential, and it is working with various schools across the globe. We'll probably cover one of the case studies. Can we play one of the videos, please? I hope they clicked the right video this time. So that is about one of the schools which has used Oracle Learning Exchange, where there is